All right, so this is a quick music switch I set up in Wwise that is going to switch between three different versions or phases of a single music piece that I wrote. So the way this is going to work is we have this full mix. It's got the foundation of the piece, the piano, bass, and drums. So what we're going to do is have it switch between what tracks are playing in a music switch based on where you are in the environment. So it will play this foundation, then it will switch and add the piano, and then finally the drums and bass. And it will do all of that seamlessly, switching between any of them based on where you are in the environment. So then I also have two other switches. One is an effect, a pitch shifter actually, that changes the feel of the music, and I can show how that sounds. So without it, then with the pitch shifter, completely different sound, kind of more creepier feel to the music. And then I also have this stinger. So this stinger will play by stopping all the other music and then playing by itself just once, whereas the other music loops. So then I also have these transitions, these fades that crossfade between the different versions of the music. And these are immediately, and they play at the same time, at the start of the playlist, at the same time as the playing segment. And you can do this with tempo and time signature, but because all of this is the same music piece with just different tracks, I just did it based on the time since they're all the same time. So the other important thing is the timing of your fades. So I had it so that they cross over and fade out and fade in together rather than just one fading out and one fading in, so that they actually have a seamless transition. So that's just something based on timing you have to play with. So the way I have this set up is with three different switches tied to three different versions of the music, one with foundation and piano, one with just foundation, and then one with everything in it, the full mix of foundation, piano, bass, and drums. So if I go to the game syncs, you can see these three different switches that I have called encode that switches between the phases of the playing music. So if we actually look at the events that I have set up, you can see I have the pitch shifter as just on the playing music but bypass. So this event disables the bypass and lets the pitch shifter through. Then I have a stop to stop the music, play the music and bypass the pitch shifter, and then the music stinger. So the music will play with the bypassed pitch shifter, the pitch shifter will be unbypassed, then the music will stop and the stinger will play. So last thing are these sound banks that you put onto a game object in your environment so that the sound plays off of that object. So let's take a look at how this works in Unity. Alright, so this is a simple scene I set up in Unity with capsule player, then a few different floors and a house, so you can visually see where the music is going to change a little more easily. And to have these changes, I have a few different trigger boxes on the floors themselves, and then also in the game environment, I made these little trigger boxes to change the phases of the music or the effects, like the pitch shifter or the stinger. There's a bunch of ways to do this, but this is just how I set it up. So let's look at the code. So it's actually pretty simple code-wise. All I really have is on the start, it will set the phase of the music to be the foundation and the piano, and then it will post the event to play the music. So the way this works is I just have an on-trigger enter that looks at the tags of the trigger boxes and then switches music phase based on those triggers. So I have the three different phases of music, then the pitch shifter trigger, that will unbypass that pitch shifter on the music itself. And then finally, I have the stop function and play the stinger, which will stop the music playing and switch to the other music. And I also have it destroying that object so that you can't trigger the stinger more than once. So let's take a look at how all of this actually works and sounds. Alright, so when we load in, you land on the first trigger box that is just the foundation. Then we walk over here and the piano is added. We can walk back. Piano disappears. Walk back. The piano's back. So then when we walk inside, you get the full mix. Walk back out. Drums and bass disappear. Drums and bass again. So we walk further on, get to the pitch shifter. Then if we keep walking, get to the final stinger. So I hope that was helpful. This is just one way to set up a music switch to have seamless transitions. So thanks for watching.